Tuskador, also known as Incisor, has long, curved tusks mounted on his chest to swivel, turning inward to capture an especially slow-moving enemy. Mighty and mysterious, intergalactic traitor from the star system Polarities, he is ready to fight, fist and tusk, from dusk till dawn, for He-Man to keep the starways clear of evil mutants. There is no escape for an evil mutant caught in his swirling tusks and his mighty Mega Blaster. His mission is to use his customized freighter to search the star system for supplies that He-Man and the Galactic Protectors urgently need to battle Skeletor and his evil mutants. Tuskador first appeared in the New Adventures of He-Man cartoon series in episode 7, The Pen is Mightier Than the Sword, or Is It? From season 1 in 1990. He also had a figure from the New Adventures of He-Man toy line by Mattel in 1991. Tuskador comes in what looks like the standard Masters of the Universe Classics cardboard mailer box, except it's much bigger. It's about 11 3/4 inches tall and is about 8.5 inches wide. The average Masters of the Universe Classics mailer box is about 9 3/4 inches tall and about 6 3/4 inches wide. Comparing Tuskador's mailer box to General Sunder's mailer box, you can see that Tuskador is going to be a massive figure. At the top is the Masters of the Universe Classics logo. Below that is the character's name, Tuskador. On the side is nothing, on the other side is nothing. On the back is not much but legal text. On the top is nothing, and the bottom is nothing. Out of the mailer box, again, other than its size, Tuskador's package looks like the standard Masters of the Universe Classics blister card. On the top is the Masters of the Universe Classics logo. Below that, we can see the figure in the bubble with the lightning and green brick design. Below that, you can see the Galactic Protector sticker, so we know which faction he is a member of. Below that is his name, Tuskador, Mighty Tusked Galactic Guardian. On the side is the yellow burst saying he is a collector's choice figure. On the other side is not much but more of the green brick design. The back also looks like the standard Masters of the Universe Classics card, except for its size, and there is no bio for Tuskador. At the top is the Masters of the Universe Classics logo. Below that is a section of other characters in the line. Below that is 2 photos of Tuskador, indicating that he has 2 pair of interchangeable tusks. So let's free Tuskador from his plastic prison. The sculpt on Tuskador is absolutely fantastic. He shares a few parts with Ram Man, but mostly they are new. His head sculpt is great. He has a lot of character in his face. There's a lot of detail on the cap that he is wearing. It reminds me of the caps that astronauts wear underneath their helmets. There is a lot of detail in his armor. His trunk looks great. His shoulder pads are highly detailed. The armor on his back looks like an engine with lots of tubes and stuff. His leg armor has lots of details. His boots have lots of details. The back of the figure has lots of details. The entire figure is filled with detailed sculpt all around the figure. So overall, Tuskador has an amazing sculpt. Tuskador is painted very well. There isn't much paint variation in his head, but his eyes are painted very well for being so small. His armor is painted well. It's a nice metallic gold with some copper highlights. There's some padding at the back of the neck of the armor that is painted brown. Most of the rest of his costume is painted with various blues. His shirt is a dark blue, while his belt is a lighter blue. His leg armor is dark blue with some metallic blue highlights. His knee pads are the same metallic gold as his armor. His boots are a light blue with some light metallic blue highlights. The great paint job continues on his back, more metallic blue on his boots. Overall, his paint job is very clean. I can't find any flaws at all. It's very great. Except for some paint splotches on the back of his head I only noticed when editing this video. For articulation, without the helmet, Tuskador's head can look up and down, tilts from side to side, and goes all the way around. His tusks rotate and almost go all the way around, but the other tusk gets in the way. His arms rotate at the shoulder, and they go all the way around. They rotate at the bicep, but don't go all the way around because of his shoulder pad. They bend at the elbow like that. His hands rotate at the wrist, and they go all the way around. His arms move slightly at the shoulder and go out and in, hindered by the shoulder pad. He has an ab crunch that moves forward and back and rotates at the waist and goes all the way around. He has articulation at the hip, and his leg goes out and in and forward and back. Rotates at the hip and goes all the way around. Bends at the knee like that, and also rotates at the knee and goes all the way around. Rotates at the calf and goes all the way around. His foot goes up and down with a tiny bit of pivot. So overall, for articulation, the joints are hidden very well. This figure has more articulation points than the average Masters of the Universe Classics figure. However, because of the armor and the bulk of the figure, the movement is severely limited, making some of the articulation pointless. For accessories, Tuskador comes with this helmet. It is painted in a nice metallic gold and has metallic copper tubes on both sides. It has pegs underneath, and Tuskador has peg holes on his armor. To put the helmet on, simply line up the pegs and firmly press the helmet in place. And the helmet fits and looks quite nice. Next is his Mega Blaster. It's molded in a kind of pearlized beige color plastic. It's sculpted decently, but it's unpainted. Its handle can be placed into Tuskador's right hand only. To place it in his right hand, simply press the handle into the hole sculpted onto his right hand. Unfortunately, his left hand is sculpted as a closed fist and cannot hold the Mega Blaster. There is a loop on his belt to store the Mega Blaster. Simply press the handle through the loop and it stores the weapon nicely. It's always great to have a place to store the accessories on a figure. Next is a pair of short tusks. They are molded in a nice shiny pearlized white plastic. I wanted to point out that there is a seam that breaks up the sculpt. Both pair of tusks have this seam. There are 2 peg holes on his chest armor. To put the tusks on, simply push the pegs on the tusks into the holes. They can be removed and placed on the holes on his back. Again, it's nice to have a place to store the accessories. Next is a pair of longer tusks. Again, like the shorter ones, they are molded in a pearlized white plastic. They are quite long and measure about 5 inches, then covering around to about 7. Comparing them to the average Masters of the Universe Classics figure, like Snout Spout, you can see how large they are. Again, they also have that seam on them. Just like the shorter tusks, you can plug the longer tusks into his chest armor, and you can swivel them to your desired position. The longer tusks can also be stored onto his back, but it looks kind of weird. So the longer tusks look good on the figure. They aren't too heavy and don't make him fall over, but they are going to take up a lot of space on your shelf. For scale, like I said earlier, Tuskador is a massive figure and measures in at about 8 inches tall, and he has peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Compared to fellow big guy Ram Man and fellow elephant-like character Snout Spout, who is average size for a Masters of the Universe figure, you can see that Tuskador towers over both of them. Tuskador shares some parts with Ram Man. Their shoulders, biceps, forearms, wrists, and hands are exactly the same, except for Tuskador's shoulder pads. Their upper torso and midsection are the same if you look underneath Tuskador's tusks. You can tell by their laces, folds, and wrinkles on their shirts. Their feet are the same, you can tell by the treads on their boots. I have a nitpick with this because both have skulls on their treads. This makes sense for Ram Man because he also has a skull on his belt. However, with Tuskador, it really doesn't fit with the theme of his character. As you might have guessed, Tuskador towers over your 6-inch action figure lines like DC Universe Classics and Marvel Legends. He can even stand toe-to-toe with Build-A-Figures like Darkseid and Calabac. Unfortunately, I do not have the vintage Tuskador to compare this new Tuskador figure with. But looking at this picture, you can see the similarities and differences. I think this new figure is a great update to the vintage figure. Standing Tuskador alongside the other Galactic Protectors, he fits in quite well. They all share the same futuristic tech style. Visually, the colors blend well together. There is a lot of blues, golds, silvers, reds, and whites that all look great together. Tuskador will definitely fit in well with the other Galactic Protectors in your display on your shelf. So overall, Tuskador is a good figure. The negatives is that some of the articulation is severely hindered. There are some paint splotches. The skull on his boot treads doesn't make sense. The positives is that the sculpt is amazing. He is a very cool looking figure. For the most part, the paint is very well done. The paint is mostly very clean. The package is well done. So my final grade for Tuskador is a solid B. I'm Tony Beers. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And by the power of Grayskull, I have the power! This video is sponsored by the Crazy Kings of Toys. Check them out for all your toy needs and find out why they are so crazy. Find them at Amazon, eBay, Bricklink, and Facebook. Links are in the description. For more Toxic Pop, visit our website at toxicpop1.wixsite.com/toxicpop. Email us at toxicpop1@gmail.com and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/toxicpop1 and Instagram at instagram.com/wearetoxicpop. Links are in the description.